I spent my entire life worried about my body, worried about the size and shape of my thighs. And at the age of 15, I started a long journey of diets, exercises, berating my body, and basically trying everything you can think of. Looking back at it, I look at how freaking crazy it was. I was 120 pounds and had less than 6% body fat on my frame, and I still thought I was fat and ugly. So at 15, I dove into trying to figure out what was wrong with my body, trying to fix the external world that you see. And I basically spent 20 years on diets, exercise programs, in and out of therapy offices. I worked with shamans in the jungles of South America. I went on just sort of program after program trying to fix my body. And in my mid-30s, I got pregnant and had a baby. And I remember this moment of looking in the mirror. My son was 2 months old, and I was literally having a 5-minute normal conversation with myself in the mirror, basically judging the size of my boobs, the fact that they were lopsided, that I couldn't fit into my skinny jeans, that my belly was hanging over. And it was just like this very familiar conversation of, Katherine, your body is not enough. You are not enough. And there's something wrong with you. And it was about 5 minutes had gone by, and it was I was having a deep, not very generative conversation with myself in the mirror. And all of a sudden I look over, and there's my son, exactly 2 months old to the day. And he is beaming at me with this adoration and gratitude and just energy that a newborn gives you. And it was like a light bulb moment. And I went, holy crap. If I just spent 5 minutes missing out on that and in receiving the adoration and the gratitude and the love and just the pure vibrancy that he was gifting me, I went into my head, where else am I missing out on my life? Because I'm so invested in a conversation that's never actually created more for me. And so it was in that moment that I said, enough. 20 years of struggling with my body, my weight, my self-esteem, depression, and my image. No more. I'm not doing this to myself. And I have a child that I truly don't desire for him to have to go down that path. I don't desire him to have to spend his entire life convincing me that I'm beautiful. So in that moment, I decided to go on a year-long, what I call the no judgment diet. And I put myself on this diet, which meant that anytime I looked in the mirror and I wanted to go to a negative thought or a negative comment about me or my body, I wasn't allowed to do it. I literally would force myself to stop, and I'd think of a generative thought. And you know, it was really hard at first to do this. There were lots of tears, there was lots of pain, there was lots of just emotion, because I really looked at how destructive 20 years of this pattern had been to my life. And here's the thing, is that I had no idea. I had no idea how destructive it was until I started on this journey. And so a year went by, and I looked back and I went, holy crap. I basically started a business with zero money in my pocket, and I built it to over 6 figures in less than 10 months. Now, it's not special, it's not anything great, but what I attribute it to is that I no longer was spending 4 to 8 hours a day judging my body. I no longer was going down the rabbit hole of I'm not enough. And so I had all of this extra time, 4 to 8 hours a day, to actually spend on things that I love to do, and started to trust myself, my knowing, my body, and my journey. And the only reason I'm here today is because I basically made a commitment that I wasn't gonna choose to buy judgment and lies, and that this little voice in my head that was telling me I wasn't good enough.